Tuesday, April 20th. So today, the moon is entering into Leo energy very early in the morning, 3:11 a.m. So depending on where it is that you're at in the world, this is likely going to be taking place while most of us are asleep. We also have the first quarter moon taking place here today when the moon enters into Leo. And the first quarter moon is kind of a pivotal point in the manifesting stage from the new moon that we had. We are kind of learning where, new intentions are being set or need to be set. We're kind of realizing the new goals, the new obstacles that we're going to face in order to find ourselves aligned with those goals. And because it's taking place in Leo, Leo is a very, very fiery energy of the cosmos, ruled over by the sun, making it the center of attention. A little bit of flair, a little bit of drama thrown in there, but mostly it's about getting down to the heart of the matter. Right? It's getting back to our centered emotion, what it is that has been exposed to us, and really taking a inventory of how it is that we feel about it. Even more than that, Leo wants us to kind of identify our talents, our skills, what it is that we use in this form in order to express ourselves, to align with other people. And for the most part, the Leo energy is kind of playful, but because of some of the other aspects going on here today, we might not feel as lighthearted as a normal Leo energy would have us feel. So the energy is going to be heavy. I'm not going to lie to you. The energy is going to be a little bit heavy. We have the moon making 7 different aspects throughout the day. There's some heavy aspects taking place here. We have 4 squares taking place. A square with the sun, a square with Mercury, a square with Venus, a square with Uranus. What does this mean? It means that we're really going to be illuminated to a lot of details that we might have missed in previous days, whether it's because we just were trying to escape our own truth, our own reality, or whether, we just weren't ready to see those certain details be illuminated in order to shift our perspective. But the moon squaring the sun, the sun rules over Leo. And here the moon is in Leo, and Leo is going head to head with its ruler. Providing a square is a tension point, a crisis point. The sun is newly in Tauran energy, so we still haven't really adapted to this. And that sun in Taurus wants us to get grounded, wants us to come back down from our, little fire in the sky, if you will, wants us to get back to the basics, wants us to focus on one step at a time, one brick at a time, strengthening the foundations of our heart space, because that's what the moon in Leo is all about, is getting down to the raw truth of what it is that our heart wants. And the sun is saying, okay, well, what does your heart want as far as relationships go? What does your heart want as far as your finances go? What about, planning long term? What is it that you're trying to build to? What is it that you want to create? It's asking us a lot of questions that we might not have the answers to right now. The moon will square Mercury. Mercury is fresh in Tauran energy as well, slowing our thinking process down. We can only think at one thing at a time. We have to be very deliberate, very practical, very logical with our thinking, and answering some of those questions that, those other aspects are bringing up for us. What do I want? Who do I want? What do I want to be doing? What do I want to grow? What do I want to build? What am I aiming for? Mercury ruling over the mental plane. My goodness, I apologize. Really wants us to sort some things out. We have new ideas coming in, right? We had a whole bunch of ideas with Mercury in Aries. Now we have to funnel through those ideas and kind of like pick 3 that really deserve our attention, that really deserve our energy and effort. Why? Because if we give it all that we have, we can build something great here. We can build a platform, a foundation that is going to provide a strong enough platform for us to be able to build off of, but we have to get down to the nitty-gritty. The moon will also be squaring Venus. Now, Venus is new into Taurus energy as well. She's in her place of power. She's kind of feeling herself. She's recognizing like, whoa, I have really not been honoring myself. I have not been honoring my truth. I've not been taking care of myself. I have not been treating myself with the kindness, with the respect, with the dignity that I so easily give away to other people. It's time to boss up. But the moon in Leo is saying in this square to Venus, okay, well, like, what do you want as far as love goes? Like, how do you expect other people to provide you with a level of love that you can't even provide yourself? This is where self-love and self-care come into play. You can't be walking around in the world expecting exterior people and exterior situations and circumstances to fill the emotional voids within you that you can't fill yourself. That's not right. That's not how we play this game. We have to identify what is a void within us and how do we fill it ourselves. If you're walking around with a bunch of voids in you, you're only going to attract people that are going to make those voids and those wounds larger. Why? Because you haven't healed them yourself. That's what this comes down to. We have to stop looking outside of ourselves for people and situations and circumstances to fix us, to heal us, to make us feel better. It's an inside job. And that's what we are going to be illuminated with, having these, not so nice feelings arise so that we can start answering the very serious questions that we need to answer for ourselves before we can go out in the world trying to find anyone or anything to fill those voids that we haven't yet identified. So the moon will be making a square with Uranus as well. And again, Uranus is in Taurus. Uranus is shock and awe. It is that wild card. It shakes things up. It shows us a different perspective. It downloads us with new information. It gives us aha moments. This is going to be the key factor after being kind of pressurized with all these other aspects. It is going to be the key factor that pressurizes us into seeing where change needs to take place, where we have to transform our way of thinking, our way of seeing things, elevating, acting as the observer instead of reacting as our egoic critical self, and instead say, hey, higher self, higher intuition, divine source, what can I learn from this? What is this trying to show me? What is this trying to teach me? Because that's what we're here to do. We're here to learn. And through the emotional discord that we feel, through some of the experiences that we've chosen for ourselves in this human avatar situation, this is how we evolve. This is how we expand. This is how we grow. The moon will also be trining with Chiron, so there is a healing factor coming in here. It's almost like we get pressurized with all these different aspects, and then, our mind opens, we see things differently, and that is when Chiron stands in his power and gives us a little glimpse on how it is that we heal these situations. This is a good energy. And then the moon sextiles with the true node. This is a blending of energies to finally see the path forward, to see little bits and pieces come together and say, oh, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be aiming for. This is where my future self is guiding me to. So it's very much going to be a day of tension, but tension and pressure and crisis all leads to change. And that's what we need to be doing right now. We need to be awakening ourselves to the change that needs to happen in our lives. So where does the change need to happen the most? Well, Venus is going to be making an aspect with Neptune, and this speaks very highly of, yes, relationships, but most importantly, the relationship with yourself, to your higher self, to the divine source that is almighty powerful over every single one of us here on this earth. Venus wants self-love, self-care, self-worth, self-value. And yes, although we do take our physical relationships here in this earth as hints and guides to what is being mirrored back to us for our internal healing journey, the Neptune energy is what connects us with spirit, what connects us with our higher self, what connects us with our intuition. So there's like a huge contributing factor of realizing here that nobody can make you happy. You have to do that yourself. Nobody can provide you with the information or the answers that you're seeking. You have to do that yourself. It's about building a connection with yourself, with your intuition, with your higher source, with the divine source, in order for you to be totally 100% secure in who it is that you are, who it is that you're trying to be, what it is you need to do, what it is that you need to be sitting in right now. Trust no one except for yourself. And then we have Jupiter making an aspect with Pluto. So Jupiter is about growth, about expansion, seeing the silver linings. Pluto, again, death and destruction, trying to clean the slate for you so that you can transform into your higher self. You can literally see where it is that you've given your power away, and you can essentially take that power back and grow and expand past your current point, past your current lesson, and jump into the next cycle. So there's a huge revelation taking place here today that might not feel so good, but it is absolutely essential that we go through this process, because it will lead us to the changes that need to be made in order for us to boss up and reach the next level in our evolution and in our life lessons.